Rav Tzvi Meyer Silverberg Shlita brings in his Svarim, and he brings B'Shem the Maral, the Chassam Sofer, and many others, that when we say Selichos, don't think for 1 minute that when you say Selichos, you're sitting by yourself and you're saying the words alone. Aber Zuk the Maral, Zuk the Chassam Sofer, we are all accompanied by the great tzaddikim, not only by those who wrote the Selichos, but all of the tzaddikim throughout the generations that have said the Selichos. And they are accompanying us on our journey through Selichos. I'd like to continue on the theme we mentioned a few moments ago. What exactly are we trying to accomplish? What are we trying to achieve by in a few minutes saying the words of Selichos? I mean, the very name Selichos, Selicha, is forgiveness. Well, don't you need to do tshuva? If you want forgiveness, you just need to do tshuva. So if we do tshuva, the Rabbeinu Shalom forgives us, even if we don't ask for it. On the other hand, if we don't do tshuva, then we can't expect the Rabbeinu Shalom to forgive us just because we asked him to. And if that's the case, why is it that there's almost no mention of tshuva in all of the slichas that we're going to say tonight, and in almost every other night all the way until Ne'ilah? What's the reason? True, you're going to tell me at the end there's vidoy. It's almost like an afterthought. People are almost ready to leave the Beis Medrash. You're ready to leave. All right, we'll say the vidoy, v'yaitza. All right, yes tachnun, no tachnun. But like, really? If the vidoy is the tshuva, why isn't it a central theme? Right at the beginning, in the middle, the climax, right at the end. And also, if that's really the tshuva and that's what we're meant to be accomplishing, where's the other parts of tshuva? Where's the regret? Where's the Kabbalah? Not to ever do it again. The other chalakim of tshuva that the Rambam says so clearly are a chalik of doing tshuva. You look at the slichas, you read the slichas, there's nothing. There's no tshuva. There's no tshuva going on. We're begging for compassion. We're telling the Rabbeinu Shalom about the difficult situation that we're in. But there's no major emphasis on tshuva. So what are we doing? What are we about to say? We mentioned in Shalashidas that Slichas is always Motzei Shabbos. It always begins on a Motzei Shabbos. The Leket Yosha, the Talmud of the Trumas Hadeshen, explains, amongst many other reasons, the Leket Yosha brings, why is it that Slichas always begins on a Motzei Shabbos? And he says, and he explains, that Shabbos is Avada, a connection to the Rabbeinu Shalom. It's when we spend time with Hashem. We have Einig Shabbos, we have Koved Shabbos. We daven, we learn, we spend time with the Rabbeinu Shalom, of which sometimes we don't have a chance to do during the week. Shchina Shoyre Rak Metoich Simcha. People think that the days of Slichas, the days of Rosh Hashanah, Yomim Noroim, Yom Kippur, are sad days. Furthest from the truth. Nothing could be more false than that. There is nothing sad about Slichas. There's nothing sad about Rosh Hashanah. There's absolutely nothing sad about Yom Kippur. These are the most simcha-dika days that we have. Because that's the only way that we can have the Shechina reside within us and develop that connection is with simcha. And therefore, says the Leket Yosha, that's the reason amongst many reasons why we always start on a Motzei Shabbos. Because we just had a Shabbos Kodesh. We just spent a beautiful 24 hours with the Melech Malchei Amlochim. We spent time with Hashem, singing Zmiris, davening, learning, Einig Shabbos, enjoying the Rabbeinu Shalom Shabbos. That's what it is. The Leket Yosha is changing what Slichas is all about. It's not just to ask Mechila. It's not just to do tshuva, but it's to reconnect. It's to better our relationship with the Rabbeinu Shalom, to reconnect with our Creator. And if you look at the Slichas, it's almost like tefillah. The Lavush points this out very clearly. The Lavush says it's almost like davening. It starts with an ashrei, then you have a kaddish, it finishes with a tachnun, and then another kaddish. It's almost like a davening. What's the connection between tefillah and tshuva? Tefillah is our conversation with the Melech Malchei Hamlochim. It's our relationship with Hashem. When you have a relationship with someone, you talk to them, you speak, you converse. That's what Selichos is. It's our talking to develop a closer, a better relationship with the Rabbeinu Shalom. If a person is doing tshuva only because he's embarrassed or he's scared to get punished, but it leaves him feeling more distant than the Rabbeinu Shalom, that's not real tshuva. Real tshuva, as we say many times, the word tshuva doesn't mean repentance, but it means lashon shav. Shav is to return back to the Rabbeinu Shalom, to return back to our connection to Hashem. That is what we're accomplishing in the next few minutes in the slichas that we're about to say. To redevelop that connection, to redevelop that conversation, to talk with like anybody that you have a relationship with, to recognize that there's a Melech Malchei Hamlochim. A Maisa, a few years ago, a Bacha, his name is Moshe Lopyan, wasn't feeling so well. Headaches, dizziness, was feeling a little bit down, very weak, wasn't himself. He went to the doctor with his parents, Rebbeinu Lopyan, his father, and his mother, Rebbetzin Lopyan, and they did a lot of testing in various ways. And Chaman al-Tzlon, they found that he has a cancerous growth in his brain that had been developing and progressing pretty rapidly. So Rebbe tried as much as he could to encourage his son. He spent hours and hours with him by his bedside. Every day his brothers and sisters, the siblings would come in, converse with Moshe, in an attempt just to get his mind off it. It was so difficult, it was so hard. And at the end of the day, it was difficult. Day after day, the disease was getting worse and worse. He was getting weaker and weaker. And they intensified their efforts to play games, to read books, anything to divert his mind from what he was going through. And the laughing and playing that he did with his siblings and his parents was just a short break from the countless needles and prodding that were just routine of his life at that stage. And the time that he spent with his family was the highlight of his gloomy day. But soon enough, even that changed. The headaches became even worse. They increased. The dizzy spells got too much to bear. And his personality was completely not the same. He'd been upbeat the whole time. He was positive. He was upbeat about everything. But now at this stage, it was just getting too much. His friends and family recognized it. They redoubled their efforts to try and visit more than often, to put effort into their visits, to do whatever they could to take his mind off what he was going through. Unfortunately, none of this was able to reverse the spread of the disease. At one point, tragically, he no longer knew his friends. It was as if he never saw them before. They walked in, his best friends, total strangers. Who are you? I don't know who you are. I don't recognize you. And you can imagine the pain of a friend. This is my good friend. We've spent so many hours together. I've been mechazik him. We've been playing games, reading books, trying to distract him, mechazik him. He doesn't even know who I am. Several weeks passed. Moshe's friends used to come every day. They've stopped doing that because he didn't really want to see these strangers come in. It was just basically his parents and his siblings that he could at this stage identify with. The treatments were continued vigorously, but to no avail. Slowly lost touch and recognition of even those that were so close to him. When his siblings one time came into the room, his own siblings, he looked at them with a strange face. Who are you? Why are you here? Why are you coming to see me? You can imagine the pain of a sibling not being recognized by their own brother. Each day was a battle. It was getting worse and worse. And one day, the painful day arrived that his father, Rabbi Lopian, and his mother walked through the door and looked at their son. And through the look that he looked at them, the expression on his face told the tragic story. He was no longer able to recognize his own parents. A few weeks later, the boy's young pain was no longer as he went up to Shemayim. But Rabbi Lopian once said over, after this tragic and painful episode, and he was able to look back at it, and he derived an incredible lesson, an incredible penetrating lesson for every single one of us. He said, sometimes in our mind, we remain untainted and free from the outside impure influences, and we can clearly identify Avinu Shebashamayim, our Father in heaven. But sometimes our neshama just gets full and covered with layers and layers and layers of dirt, and so much that it picks up along the way, that we come to Rosh Hashanah sometimes, we come to Selichos, and we don't even recognize our own father. Can you imagine the pain? That's Selichos, Rabbi Say. That is Selichos. To rebuild that connection, to re-recognize Avinu Shebashamayim, our Tata, the Rabbeinu Shalom, the Melech Malchei Amlachim, who gave us everything, who continues to give us everything. Rabbi Say, in the next few minutes, we're about to say and recite one of the most powerful weapons that Tefillah offers us an entire year, and that is the Yud Gimel Midas, the 13 attributes of kindness of the Rabbeinu Shalom. We start saying it tonight, and we continue every day until Ne'ilah, until the gates are closed, and it's almost too late. And the Gemara tells us in Rosh Hashanah Yud Zayin Amud Beis that if not for the fact that the Torah would have said these Yud Gimel Midas, it would be impossible for a human being to say these things. But it's our secret weapon. It's the highest of tefillahs. And we're about to say the Yud Gimel Midas Hashem Hashem. Kel Molei Rachamim. We're about to say such tremendous words that have the secret, that have the key, that are able to open up tshuva. If you are looking to open up the gates of heaven, to open up the gates of Shemayim, and to go inside and recognize the Rabbeinu Shalom and rebuild that relationship, it all starts now. It all starts with Selichos, and that will lead us, Be'ezra Hashem, to Rosh Hashanah, Aseret Yemei Tshuva, Yom Kippurim, Ne'ilah, and on. The Ramak, the Bnei Yissaschar, the Megala Amukas, and so many others say the same idea. And it's such a powerful idea that when you read the Yud Gimel Midas, as I said, we're about to do now, and every day until Ne'ilah, Zuk the Ramak, Zuk the Bnei Yissaschar, Zuk the Megala Amukos. Think about the tzoros of Klal Yisrael. Have in mind all of the tzoros that Klal Yisrael have gone through and continue to go through Ad Hayom Hazeh. Think about the Yisayimim. Think about the Amonas. Think about the parents waiting for their children to come back. Hostages that are still in Gaza. And the parents are just waiting to see their children. They just want to see their children. Yidden that died just over a year ago. Simchas Torah. Innocent Yidden. Kedoshim. That died al Kiddush Hashem. And yes, Kedoshim. So much tzoros. So much tzoros. Rabbi said Klal Yisrael have been through so much. The problems that we have, the tzoros, the illnesses, the problems with shalom bayis, the problems in health, the problems with Yiddishkeit, the problems, it's endless. It just keeps going on and on. Klal Yisrael eina east tzara. We don't have to look far, Rabbi Say. We're in Yerushalayim. Those of you that were walking to my house on the way to Kiddush, we heard the explosion. Those of you that heard it this evening, you could see it this morning in the sky, over our heads. Those of you that were here, Simchas Torah last year, the pachad, Klal Yisrael is an eis tzara. We're going through so much, and we have an opportunity now, during Selichos, to begin Yomim Noraim. The Avudraham says, we don't really paskin this way, but the Avudraham says that according to him, many of the halachas of Yomim Noraim already start right now. Many have a minhag not to eat nuts already. Gematria Chet, even though the Ramah brings it down, it's only on Leil Rosh Hashanah by day also, but some already started now. Yomim Noraim begins now. Rabbi said, this is it, this is the path to Rosh Hashanah. This is the path to a good year. This is the path to health, to simcha, to happiness, to avas HaTorah, to kivus alikim. We want to dveikus in the Rabbeinu Shalom. We daven the Rabbeinu Shalom. We want to come back. It's so difficult. What do you want from us? We're living in such a dark generation. We're kedalim groshim. We're so poor. We're empty. Lo b'chesed, lo b'masim. We have nothing. Who are we? What are we compared to the gedolim, the tzaddikim of previous generations? Rabbeinu Shalom, the temptations, the Yetzer Hara, it's too much. Can't do it. What do you want from us? Everywhere we turn is Yetzer Hara, is temptation, this Yonis. As the Lashon Ha'Am says, Yishayim Kol Yinyan Yonim, this Yonis Heim La'Adam. Everything's in a Sayin. In Tzidkas HaTzadik, you have the opportunity to have an Nisayan and grow from the Nisayan. Because every Nisayan is an opportunity of growth. Zuk the Ramban, Valakim Nisa Savram. It's difficult. It's hard. We want to connect to Hashem. We want to connect to Shabbos Kodesh. We want to connect to Tefillah. We want to connect to so much, and it's so hard. Rabbeinu Shalom. We're about to say the Yud Gimel Midos. We're about to daven the Gemara Rosh Hashanah Yud Zayin told us. We say this formula. We have an instant access to Shemayim, and we want it desperately. Rabbeinu Shalom. It's a few days Rosh Hashanah. We're going to be standing in this very Beis HaMedrash. We're going to be standing in this Mokoim, davening, begging for our lives. How many people davened last year? We're not here this year. They thought, no problem, we'll make it. Another year, what's the big deal? They're not here this year. This is our opportunity. This is our time to daven, to beg, to reconnect with the Rabbeinu Shalom. Yemei Selichos are special. The whole Elul is special. Yemei Selichos goes up a notch. It's closer and closer. We're mamash Shavua Shechal by Rosh Hashanah. This is it. This is the week that Rosh Hashanah falls out. In just a few days, we're going to be there. And we're going to be saying HaMelech, crowning the Rabbeinu Shalom in the coronation of the King of the Melech, Malchei Amlachim. And to proclaim, Ein Lanu Melech Ela Ata, it's only you, Rabbeinu Shalom, we have no one else. We're distracted. What do you want from us? Oh, but talk to Hashem. Develop a relationship. Talk, converse. That's what the Selichos is. That's what we're doing here. As we said before, from the tzaddikim, when we daven in the Selichos, many of the tzaddikim are here with us. And as we just said, from the Bnei Yissaschar, the Megalei Amuchas, the Ramak and others, when you say the Yud Gimel Midos tonight and every night going forward, have in mind the tzoros of Klal Yisrael and daven. We want the hostages back. We want the soldiers to be safe. We want Eretz Yisrael to be safe. We want Klal Yisrael around the world to be safe. We need a Yeshua. We need the Gilui Shechina. We need the Beis HaMikdash. We need the Rabbeinu Shalom to show us, to help us, to guide us, to hold our hand. But Rabbi said, just remember, if you ask, you get. The Rabbeinu Shalom is waiting with his hands open to hug every single one of us. He loves us, he cares for us, and he's waiting for us to return. Everyone should be gebenched. We should be Zoicha B'siyata D'Shmaya together, B'tzivu. A git gebench a year of Hatzlacha and Avas HaTorah and Yerushalayim, a year of Kivus Elikim, a year of real relationship with the Rabbeinu Shalom, Shabbos Kodesh, Tefillah, Emunah B'tochen, all of the things that we need, that we daven for, that we desperately want. Be'ezus Hashem, the Rabbeinu Shalom will see how much we want it. And he's going to give us such a hug Just feel that hug. Feel the kiss from the Melech Malchei Amlochim. And Be'ezus Hashem, if you spend the next few days in Selichos, we're going to come to Rosh Hashanah Abba Aleinu L'Tova, and the Rabbeinu Shalom will make sure that each and every one of us will be written, signed, and sealed for a good year.